9-year-old boy Kenzo waits patiently at the scanty bus stop. The clouds are thick and gray and the sky is pouring. Kenzo rolls up the sleeve of his yellow raincoat and looks at his watch. 6:15 p.m. The 6 o'clock North Shore Express is late. Kenzo's stomach starts to growl. A red vending machine right next to him seems very inviting right now. Kenzo stands up and walks up to the vending machine. Pastries, cupcakes, chocolate bars, candies, and a row of cold drinks. Kenzo reaches into his pants pocket and takes out a quarter. Definitely not enough. Not even for a candy. Kenzo lets out a sigh of mild exasperation. After a full day of archery training at his mentor's country house, the boy is tired, hungry, and sleepy all at once. And the only thing he craves right now is to get back home to town. Kenzo looks up at the vending machine one more time. His sullen face lights up when he spots a cola-flavored Chupa Chews lollipop dangling but stuck out of its slot. If Kenzo just knocks hard enough against the vending machine's glass door, the lollipop might just drop. At zero cost to him except his conscience, Kenzo contemplates hard on whether to do the deed or not. Kenzo slowly lifts up a clenched fist, his gaze on the dangling lollipop intense. But before Kenzo can even knock his fist against the glass, the vending machine starts to shake. The expression on Kenzo's face turns into bewilderment. A shadow hovers above his head. Kenzo looks up above him to find two large, jiggling balloons of human flesh. Kenzo's eyes light up, but the sound of a treat dropping quickly diverts Kenzo's attention back to the vending machine. The dangling cola-flavored Chupa Chews lollipop has dropped. An arm from behind Kenzo slides in and then out of the vending machine's drop box quicker than Kenzo could even flinch. Kenzo turns around to find a woman unwrapping the Chupa Chews in one swift tear and shoving it into her mouth. The woman appears to be twice Kenzo's age and her breasts big and round. Kenzo's mouth half opens and shivers in disbelief. The corners of his eyes crinkle at the verge of crying. The young lady notices Kenzo staring angrily at her. The boy shifting his angry gaze between her and the lollipop she keeps sliding in and out of her mouth. This? The young lady points her lollipop in the air. Did you want this? Kenzo doesn't answer. Instead, he stomps his feet back to the bench and crosses his arms across his chest as he sits back down. The young lady's confused or insensitive gaze follows Kenzo. She was going to approach him, but before she could, the North Shore Express finally arrives. Kenzo dashes into the bus as soon as its doors fling open. He takes on a window seat, still annoyed but relieved that he can finally go home. Someone plops their full weight on the seat right next to Kenzo, startling him. It's the lollipop thief. Hi, the young lady waves her hand at Kenzo as she greets him with a bright smile. The only thing that catches Kenzo's attention, however, is the lollipop that's still twirling inside the young lady's mouth. I'm Kira, but you can call me Kiki. What's your name? Kenzo still doesn't respond. He crosses his arms around his chest, turns his back on Kiki, and looks out the window just as the bus takes off. As the bus speeds off and passes through dusky panoramic views of vast rice fields on one side and the vast ocean on the other, heavier droplets of rain trail all across the bus's glass windows and blur out the views. Kenzo sinks into his seat and faces forward to find the bus driver with his head turned towards him. A grin from ear to ear and eyes almost shut spread across the bus driver's face. Long whiskers point out from the edges of his mouth and pointy ears stand tall from the top of his head. Kenzo rubs his eyes and blinks twice at the bus driver. Kenzo's mouth drops open, dumbfounded at what he's seeing. The bus driver has turned into a white wolf. Merryland, stop everybody, the land where everything and everyone is merry and bright. This is our last stop for the night. Everyone has to get off at this stop, the bus driver announces. Kenzo looks out the window. The rain has disappeared and dusk has turned into night. The fields and the ocean have turned into patches of whimsical cottages and alleyways, all lit up with lamps glowing incandescently. Everyone inside the bus has also turned into various animals except for Kenzo and Kiki. You heard him, kid. Time to get off, Kiki tells Kenzo as she proceeds to get off the bus. Kenzo hastes towards the bus driver. This isn't my stop. I need to get back to town. Kenzo expresses his frustration at the bus driver. This is town. You've reached town, boy, the bus driver explains. No, this isn't town. I want to go home, Kenzo exclaims and starts to cry. Okay, hush now, boy. If this isn't home, then perhaps you were brought here for a reason. The bus driver ends his explanation to Kenzo with a smirk and a wink. No, I need you to take me home now, please, Kenzo cries. I'm sorry, but I cannot. Once I reach Maryland, I cannot go anywhere else until the trouble is solved. Hey kid, stop being a baby and come out here. Hurry, Kiki calls out to Kenzo. A busy, enchanting town lays out in front of Kenzo and Kiki, but the town's enchantment is quickly darkened by crowds of animal people on the streets, marching with placards and shouting, "The princess isn't merry. The princess has turned glum. Execute, execute." Follow me, Kiki instructs Kenzo. Kiki leads Kenzo through the crowds towards the town square. Kenzo's eyes open wide at what he witnesses. A young girl in a ball gown and a tiara about his age stands on gallows. Her arms are tied behind her back. Crowds of protesters at the bottom of the gallows yell angrily at her. "You got your bow and arrow with you?" Kiki asks Kenzo. She spots Kenzo's equipment behind his back and tells Kenzo before he can even respond, "Let's go." Kiki further leads Kenzo discreetly towards the rooftop of the cottage right behind the gallows. She guides Kenzo into position and instructs for him to aim his arrow towards the gallows. The target is the lynching rope. To tear it apart at the perfect timing. After a long back and forth dispute, Kenzo finally gives in. Kiki and Kenzo are to save the princess. Kenzo delivers but causes the protesters to inch forward and attack the princess. Kenzo turns to Kiki, but she is nowhere around him to be found. Like a ninja, Kiki is swiftly jumping off from the rooftops and down towards the gallows. And in the blink of an eye, she scoops the princess out of the scene. As soon as Kiki manages to escape the princess from the gallows, the townspeople immediately start yelling and running after them. Kiki leads the princess to the back of the cottage, where Kenzo is still in hiding and spying from the rooftop. "Kenzo, let's go, now!" Kiki calls out in a loud whisper to Kenzo, who stands at the rooftop shaking in fear. "Kenzo, jump!" "I can't, it's too high," Kenzo yells back. "You have to jump, you can do it, trust me," Kiki says. Kenzo shakes his head and starts sobbing. "They're coming, Kenzo, we gotta go. At the count of 3, you have to jump. 1, 2, just a split second before the townspeople reach the back of the cottage, Kenzo finally jumps, and the trio speed their way out of town. They get chased all the way out towards the bus stop where Kiki and Kenzo initially got off from. Just as the townspeople catch up to them, the North Shore Express comes zooming and screeching in to their rescue. The bus's doors fling open. It's Mr. White Wolf. "Did you fix the trouble, kid?" Mr. White Wolf greets Kenzo. Kenzo quickly hops onto the bus, followed by the princess and Kiki. Then Mr. White Wolf takes off in the speed of lightning. It turns out Kiki approached Kenzo on purpose in order to save the gloomy princess of Maryland. The princess was prosecuted for losing her merry attitude, which is unlawful in the land of the merry. Since gloomy people aren't allowed in Maryland, these people get persecuted and eventually subjected to public lynching, even if they are members of royalty. The next thing Kenzo knows is being woken up by the bus driver's announcement. "Gloomtown stop, everybody. This is our last stop for the evening. Everyone has to get off at this stop." Kenzo recognizes the town. His town. He's finally home. Kenzo runs up to Mr. White Wolf to thank him. But to Kenzo's surprise, the bus driver isn't Mr. White Wolf. Kenzo gets off the bus a little dazed. Then, he abruptly stops in his tracks. Kenzo finds Kiki at the bus stop with another Chupa Chews rolling in her mouth. Kenzo takes a step towards Kiki, but as soon as he does, Kiki gets up from the bench. She heads straight towards the bus, walking past Kenzo as if she doesn't see nor recognize him. Kenzo's puzzled gaze follows Kiki into the bus, who doesn't take a seat. Kiki grabs onto a handrail with one hand and slides the other into her pants pocket. She looks out the window in front of her and lands her eyes onto Kenzo. She gives the boy a wink and a short wave as the bus takes off. Kenzo's puzzled gaze continues to follow Kiki and the bus with an LED display on the sides that reads North Shore Express.